Hi everyone, my name's Dr. Stephanie Swift and I'm a Senior Consultant in Systematic Reviews here at Mtech Access. So we have a poster being presented by Dr. Shona Lang at ISPOR Europe on Wednesday the 20th of November. It's in the 9 till 11:30 a.m. session, poster session 5, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So our poster looks at how patient and carer perspectives and real-world evidence are used in health technology assessments, or HTAs, in the orphan disease space. So in the study that we describe in our poster, we looked at rare disease submissions from NICE in the UK and matched those with the same submission from Canada's drug agency, or l'Agence des Médicaments du Canada. Looked at them over the last 2 years and looked at trends over those 2 years in how the voices of patients, carers or their families who are living with an orphan disease are captured during the HTA assessment process. We also looked at how often real-world evidence was used as part of the key evidence supporting the submission of the new drug, and how these two elements changed over time. Overall, we found 36 orphan disease submissions, 36 from NICE, and then matched 22 from the CDA. So that was 58 submissions in total across both NICE and the CDA. So in terms of the voice of the patient, their carers or their families, across those 58 submissions, we found that the patient voice was included in all of the submissions to both NICE and the CDA AMC in one form or another. For NICE submissions in the UK, patients tended to be involved in one of two ways. So either patient experts attended the committee meetings and contributed live to the discussions during those meetings, or patient groups submitted evidence that appeared in the committee papers and was considered during those committee meetings, and that typically provided data from things like patient surveys, telephone or video interviews, face-to-face interviews, data from their online forums, and studies that they'd commissioned formally themselves. So out of the 36 NICE submissions, only one of them failed to have a patient expert attending the committee meeting itself, and only one failed to have a patient group submission. In Canada, for the CDA submissions, all 22 submissions had a patient group submission, but no patient experts were invited to participate in the live committee meetings, which kind of limited their contribution a little bit. In the UK and Canada, there were 26 charities in the UK and 18 charities in Canada that provided evidence for the patient group submissions, and this really performed a critical role in providing supportive data around the patient burden and the lived experience of patients, carers and their families. So overall, we found that the number of rare disease HTA submissions almost doubled in the 2 years we looked at, from 19 submissions in the first year to 40 in the second year. Pivotal study evidence appears to be increasingly informed by randomised controlled trials, and less than a quarter of the submissions embedded real-world evidence as part of those key data sets that really drove the study submission. Patient experts provided input on all the HTA submissions we identified from both the UK and Canada, and that was either through attending committee meetings or through patient group submissions. And more than 40 charities in the UK and Canada provided the evidence for the patient group submissions, and these patient group submissions actually often had a key influence on the final recommendations. In terms of looking to the future, we would recommend that further work is needed to ensure that patients can meaningfully contribute to the HTA process. That's in line with guidance from bodies such as the NIHR, from NHS England, and from individual research groups on the importance of establishing meaningful patient engagement in research. So hopefully that's given you a useful little taste of our poster on the use of patient and carer perspectives and real-world evidence in orphan disease health technology assessment submissions.